Peace, everyone. And bear with me. I had another issue today. And if you can hear me, please, if you can hear and see me, just put a note in the chat. I am actually on my phone again today. If you can bear with me while I figure out how to get the chat up here. And I apologize again. And while I'm figuring this out, let me be a lesson to you again in listening and being in contact with your guides and with the information that you're getting. And part of what I was getting in this process, there it is, was to go on my phone and not even try to do it on a computer. And I didn't listen. So in the process of this, I still was trying to go on and do it my way. And when it wasn't working, it came to the point of where I realized I had needed to go about doing things the way that I was being given to do them. And what I got in the end there was, are you ready to take your hands off the wheel? Are you ready to pull the oars out the water and just flow? So the message today is to find your way, find your flow, and the universe is going to flow with you, but you have to allow the universe to flow with you. Or you have to flow and step aside and take your hands off of the controls, take your hands off of the steering wheel, pull your oars out the water, and just flow with what the universe is giving you to do, what the universe is giving you and doing to move you forward. And it's all everything, as always, is for your greatest good. And I'm sorry because I'm still trying to figure out how to bring the chat up here so it's readable for me. Let's just say hello to everyone here again. Gratitude again to Corinne and Angel Alchemy Academy for this opportunity. I'm a 2024 graduate of Angel Alchemy Academy. I am grateful to everyone that is here listening to me and listening to my classmates and other previous graduates of Angel Alchemy Academy. So gratitude to each of you. And I gave you my message. I'm not going to talk a lot today. I'm just going to start pulling cards. And if I'm going to give a collective reading, if I can you hear me okay now? Let me know in the chat if you can hear me okay now. And yes, Bree, we all have to be willing to let go. And it is definitely a struggle for a lot of us. And it's definitely a struggle for me. I'm a Capricorn, and I like to be able to see exactly how I'm going to get from point A to point B, and do that with as few deviations as possible. And unfortunately, my guys don't see it that way. But it's all part of this life. I'm embracing it as best I can, um, and go forward. First thing I'm going to pull is an affirmation card. Um, the first card is "My life is a mirror," and what it says for the card is, "The people in my life are really mirrors of me. This affords me the opportunity to grow and change." So that's a significant statement, and a lot of us, there's a lot of you that are going through the same thing that I'm going through, just as far as not listening and not being in flow and not flowing with what you're getting. So again, let me be your example of, no matter how much you try to take control, your guides are frequently going to deviate you from your plans, and all that you can do is flow. I've always been intuitive, but I've honestly, before really getting onto my path as I am now, I was always intuitive, and frequently I didn't listen to the intuitive messages that I was given by my guides. The only thing I commonly listened to, for the most part, was things in regards to people. If my guide said something to me about a person, I always listened to that. If my guide said other things, frequently I didn't listen. And when I started having an understanding of my guides, one of the first things that they said to me is, "You hear us clearly. Why aren't you listening?" And I didn't really have an answer for that when they said that to me, but it was very true. Um, and I still struggle with it at times. Okay, so I'm also pulling a collective card from the Heavenly Angel deck. The angel is Sachiel, and this is another angel that I am not familiar with. I love this deck because there's quite a few angels here that I have no familiarity with. So it makes for a very interesting, very true. Hearing and listening are totally different things. So for the angel Sachiel, it says here, planetary angel associated with Jupiter, I'm sorry. Humans are not made to be satisfied. We always desire more. And this continuous movement between satisfaction and research helps us generate change and transformation. However, there's a very fine line between the pursuit of well being and the greed for wealth. And even if the desire to prosper is not necessarily of a negative nature, in some cases, it is not easy to distinguish between the two. Sachiel helps us to reach the goal of well being we long for and giving us wealth and prosperity. This angel bestows well being and health. Again, well being and health. And I try to make sure I put this in the comments for people to be able to refer back to that. And once again, I love this deck. Very unfamiliar to most of what I pull from this deck, and definitely not a deck that I would have envisioned myself using in any capacity at this point in my life. Okay, now I'm going to do angel card readings, and if you want a reading, put it into the chat now. Um, I'm going to read the chat as best I can, but if you put in your request now, And if there's a question that goes with your request, put it in now. Um, and I will get to everyone that I can. If I miss you, again, I apologize, but I will get to everyone that I can. I'm going to be pulling cards from mostly from my go-to deck, Hal Gray's Angel Guide Oracle, and then Bradley Valentine and Dougal Frazier's Angels and Auras deck. And bear with me. Okay, Erica, I'll do a reading for you first. The card communication clearly jumped out of the deck. Be open and clear with all of your communication and everything that you're doing. Don't leave anything to chance in your discussions and talks with anyone. And most importantly, don't just assume, especially if there's a relationship involved, don't just assume that the person knows what you're thinking or assume that the person knows how you're feeling. Be open to communicate and be open to accept communication in whatever you're dealing with and whoever you're dealing with. Um, Also, sometimes when I pull a card, which I'm getting, I just want to show. I also get a card at times that's a clarifier card to the original card being pulled. The clarifier card is Sandalphon. Sandalphon is an angel that represents grounding. He represents the connection to the being grounded, connection to the earth. When I see Sandalphon as two huge feet planted into the ground. And Sandalphon is considered to be one of the largest of the angels, one of the tallest of all of the angels. But be grounded in what you do, but make sure you're communicating what it is that you expect, and make sure that that's going both ways. And I think I went the wrong way, but Lynn, you're up next. I think I might have brought someone up there that I moved. But again, I am on my phone, so I apologize. And I can't read everything very well on the phone. For for you, Lynn, don't compromise is the card. Boundaries, assertiveness, courage, unwavering. That's what it says here for the card. Make sure through your entire process that everything that you're doing in flow is coming up, but also maintain the balance. Don't, this definitely can apply to you too. Don't overgive of yourself. Make sure that you have balance for everything that you're doing with everyone and everything. Make sure that you're refilling your cup and make sure that you just maintain the balance. And I think that's just that's a simple enough to put it here for you. Um, the bottom card on the deck, I'm just going to point it out to you because I do know you. It's Tamuel, and just for what it says, it's happiness, vibrancy, energy, and hope. And that's definitely you, Lynn. Okay, Suzanne, you're up next. Suzanne, your card's coming up as inner child healing. Um, and I actually, because this is a card that definitely applies to a lot of people, and a lot of times I don't use the book for this deck, but I want to read what the book says for this card because this is actually one of the several cards in this deck that I feel are significantly important to so many people, and it basically involves so much because a lot of us aren't addressing the things from our past, the things from our childhood. A lot of us are not addressing and finding joy. Before I read this, I just want to point out, make sure that you find joy at all times at some point during the course of your day. If it's thinking back on something pleasurable, think back on something pleasurable. If you can think of come back to a childhood moment that you loved, go to that childhood moment. Uh, Behind me, up on, and I don't know how well you can see it, and I'm not going to get up and pull it down, but behind me, hanging off of one of the papyruses here, there's a triangle that is a something that I made when I was in, I believe, fifth grade, third grade, back in ancient times. The reason why it's there is it's a reminder to me to bring about the childlike thoughts and the childlike processes. And there's a whole big story behind my creating that and not understanding and what I was actually trying to do, but we don't have time for that. So just bring those thoughts to mind. If you have something from your childhood, keep it nearby because every time I look at that, I laugh and I smile and I have joy over what I did, even though I didn't understand what I was trying to do at the time. But it says here for the card, your message, the inner child is a part of our psyche that represents our childhood. Everyone, no matter who they are, has had a traumatic childhood experience that may be impacting their life today. And you have endured so much in your life. You have endured so much in your life. You are a real survivor. Drawing this card indicates that no matter what happens, you have found a way forward. You may feel that you have had to grow up quickly and abandon your innocence in order to survive. But know that when you reflect, review, and release anything from your childhood that could be holding you back, the next phase of your life will be supported. This isn't about forgetting, but about taking the time to send loving energy to your inner child and to assure them that they do make it through and become the incredible person that you are today. And there's an extended message. The extended message is this card brings radical healing, understanding, and love to your inner child. It shows that your guardian angel is wrapping their loving arms around you right now, nurturing your inner child and encouraging you to unleash your childlike senses. See the world through the eyes of a child. There's so much wonder and opportunity there. It's time for some fun. What can you do to feel light? What can you do to express yourself? Have you stopped yourself from doing something because you feel you're too old for it now. It's time to reclaim your innocence and express yourself in a way that is filled with excitement, wonder, and adventure. It's time for your inner child to be healed. So this is a card. It applies to so many. It's pulled for Suzanne, but this definitely applies to the group. And one thing I always suggest doing, and it's something that I do, there's a park that I go to when I connect with nature, and there's swings there in the park. I will actually, as old as I am, I will get on the swings and I will swing, and it feels good. It definitely feels good and it's enjoyable. So that's just a suggestion of what you can do, and doing that helps you to raise your vibration just from doing something of that type. And I also say hello to everyone. I see hello, Drew, um, Tina, and Tina. I'll get you. But I'm going to do Diana first. So, Diana, what do we have for you? Diana, your card is angelic protection. Um, for this card, the important thing is to remember that your angels are with you at all times. There's never a time that you're in your house or outside your house when there's not angels present. So they're always available. They're always available to you, but you have to call on them. You have to make use of them in your life and let them know what it is that you need. You are protected. You are covered for whatever there is that you may need within your life. And once again, there's an angel there for each and every one of those things. But in most cases, angels do not act outside of your guardian angel. Your guardian angel will act and protect at all times from anything that's not meant to happen to you. So you have that protection. Make use, allow your guardian angel to protect you, but also make use of the other angels that are surrounding you because they're there. And one of the things I frequently have found myself telling people is you have angels that are sitting around you that are twiddling their thumbs, waiting for you to ask because that's what they're here for. So make use of who's here. And also for everyone, build your connection with the angels that are around you. Build that connection and flow with what you're given and allow them to work with you. But once again, you have to call on the angels for what it is that you may need. Tina, this one's for you. Um, the card is the power of prayer, surrender, believe, affirm, and release. The Tina, you have a lot of intuition and a lot of things that come from your words. Be confident in what you speak Be confident in what you speak into existence, and be confident in the the prayers, the sessions, the healing sessions that you're doing for people. Be confident in those things, because those sessions that you doubt are working so much better than you can imagine. Just keep doing what you're doing, because everything is divine in timing for where you are and what you're doing. And I don't know if any of you have heard any of the sessions that Tina has done for Love Fest, but Tina is amazing. So, Tina, I just state this with love, and I give you your card with love and with a big smile. So, let your words flow. Hi, Gail. It's good to see you here again. I'm going to pull a card for you. Actually, Gail, I'm going to deviate from those two decks. I'm going to pull a card from the Daily Crystal Inspiration deck. The card that's coming up from this deck, it's Bloodstone, and I'm going to give you what it says here for the Bloodstone card. It's a great crystal. If you have crystals and you have Bloodstone, definitely use it. If you buy crystals and you don't have Bloodstone, buy it. And bear with me, it's been a while since I pulled a card from this deck. And oh, there it is. So what it says on the card is, get up, get moving. Movement is momentum. It is a life force crucial to maintaining a healthy mind, body, and soul. In addition to just feeling better, we are physically active, our mind is clear, our mood is brighter, and our spirit is energized. Even on days when it seems hard to stand up and get your blood pumping, you might be surprised at how quickly movement can recharge you. Set specific goals to better serve the needs of your physical body and stay motivated to achieve them. Once you take the first step, kinetic energy will kick in, and soon you'll be off and running. And the questions for you to ask yourself here are, where does movement and activity place in your list of priorities? What is getting in the way of your being active? How can you incorporate movement into your daily life? And the affirmation that goes with this card is, joyous movement energizes me. Today, do one thing that gets your blood pumping. And also, just in addition, whatever it is that you're contemplating or stagnating with spiritually, this card is definitely saying, it's on the card, get up, get moving. Stop thinking about it, stop talking about it. It's time to take action and do what it is that you feel that you may be called towards. So action time is here. Let's see who's next. And Bree, I'm not sure if I read you already, and I didn't write down who I read. But if I didn't read you already, you're getting a second one because it's needed. And if I didn't read you already, I'm glad to do the first reading. And this is going to come from the Angels and Auras deck. And the reason why I'm doing the second reading, if it is a second reading, is because that sort of came up without my precise prompting. This is a card, I say this is a deck that I'm newer to using, but it's very much on point with individuals. The card is spiritual adventure. And I just want to talk about what's on the card real quick. Travel, education, experience, inspiration. I don't know how well you can see it, but this is two people on train seats, or two beings sitting on a train. One is a blind woman, and sitting opposite her is an angel. And that angel is her guide, her protection to be able to step out and do all the things that are meant to be done in her path, in her vision, in the and there's no pun on words meant there, but the everyone has a vision, whether you can see it or not. There's a vision there. You have to take the adventure, take the steps, and move forwards towards what that vision is, in spite of how well you can see the outcome. Because a lot of times the outcome isn't meant for you to see. A lot of times the outcome is meant to be met, and the lessons that come in the outcome are that come while you're working towards that outcome are the most important things. So sometimes it's the journey. So I'm just going to read some of what it says here for this deck, or for this card rather. You're in flow of a joyful life adventure. You're considering making a choice that would expand your horizons and bring new wonderful experiences. Your angels may even be extending an invitation for you to grow and evolve in ways that feel just a bit outside of your comfort zone. That's okay. Keep in mind that your angels have their metaphorical bags packed and ready to go with you on the journey. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful experience. And I hope this card is inspiration for you to listen and do some of the things that are being placed in front of you. Some of those things that are darts that are being shot into your realm of existence. And there's nothing that you're getting, and this applies to everyone. There's nothing that you're getting to do that's outside of your ability. Anything that you're considering, no matter how outside of your comfort zone or how far outside of what you actually commonly take on, it's achievable, and it's doable because of the fact that it's coming to you. Sometimes it may take some work. Sometimes it may take some courses. It may take some downloads. Whatever will take, you have to put yourself in a position to make those things happen. So put those things on, just in your vision and in your decisions, because all of those things are there for you. And the worst thing is when you put a limitation on yourself. And trust me, I've been there too. And it still comes up. And Karen, you are next. Okay, and I'm going to pull from the Angel Guide Oracle deck for you. Wow. Okay. And I think I said before, a lot of times when I say wow when I'm pulling a card, it's because the card is matching the first thing that comes to me about uh, the person or about the situation. And for anyone that doesn't read, a lot of times what happens when we're doing readings, there's an instant thing that comes to mind as far as doing the reading. And the first thing that came to mind for me was for you was just intuition, and you have very solid intuition. Um, the card is intuition and downloads. The thing that stands out the most on the card outside of the words is the fact that this angel is showing a flow of information coming down from source, coming down from the ether. Trust your intuition. And this also loops back around to the last card that I pulled. That last card was basically saying that there's no limitation in what you may consider doing. Trust the information that you're getting, trust the downloads that you're getting, and flow. And just something else, which a lot of you have heard me say before, but I'm going to say it again. We are living in a time where things are not going to be done as they were done 3 years ago, 5 years ago, definitely not 10 years ago. So if there's something that you're getting, and this applies to everybody, if there's something that you're getting that's not typical, something that's beyond what people look at, and things that people may pair together that would be looked at as things that you can't do that because these two things don't go together. Don't listen to that because the way things are today and the way things are going, trust in what you're given to do in spite of the things that seem like they may not go together. And if there are things that go together, definitely do them. If there are things that don't appear to go together, do them because there's a reason. And there's a lot of people who are going to have toolboxes of things that they do that will basically start to step forward in making connections and doing things. So add things to your toolbox and follow your intuition. If it's something that you enjoy and you're intuitively being told to do it, get out there and do it. If it's something that's just coming to you, learn it. Sometimes there's things that you learn and you may learn them and may not use them for months. Or it may be something that you just need to have the understanding for how to do it. So go forward and trust in what it is that you may be getting. Erica, I don't remember which deck I pulled from for you, but one of the decks is the Angels and Auras deck by Radley Valentine and Dougal Frazier, and the other deck is the Angel Guide Oracle deck by Radley Valentine. The very first card that I pulled for the collective was from the Heavenly Angel deck. Um, if you message me, I will send you a picture of the card and also a picture of what the book says, and that's for anyone. Just message me on Facebook and I'll get that to you. Um, and let me try to see who else I can get in here. And I'm gonna pull a card for Chandra. Chandra. And it's good to see you again today. And it's really nice to see those that have come back. It's nice to see those the first time, but it's also really nice to see the people that are coming back for more, even after my big delay yesterday. So gratitude to each of you. Um, I have two cards that are coming up for you, and I'm going to give you what's on the three cards. I think this is going to speak for itself and resonate for you, and whoever it resonates with, it's going to resonate. The first card, it is coming up, making a repeat appearance. This is the Stalker card of the day. Angelic protection. The angels are there with you. The angels are working with you. Make sure you're working with them. And then the other card, Mother, Father, God. When the Mother, Father, God card comes up in a reading for me in most cases, it's because you're in flow and you just need to know that you can still increase and flow a little bit more. And the connection or whatever may be the blocking aspects of that connection. And this is the clarifier card from the bottom of the deck. Whatever's coming up that's inhibiting the flow, cancel, clear, cancel, and release. I spoke the other day about clearing room and allowing the universe to refill the space that's cleared with new things. So if there's something that's inhibiting these things, don't be afraid to let the things go that are blocking you. And don't block yourself as well. So definitely be in flow. And there's a significant thing that ties together a lot of these readings from today, which I would basically say apply to the collective. Um, and it's the fact that a lot of us will limit what we can do, what we have the capacity to do, and don't limit yourself. And the readings that I do, and the readings that I do that I feel are the most important are the gifts and guides readings. I've encountered so many people that I've taught how to learn about their gifts, how to work with their gifts and their connection to spirit and to their guides and connection to their guides. And there's so many people that are connecting and don't realize that they're connecting. There's so many people that think that they're not connecting or think that they have no connection with source or with their guides or anyone. And I haven't met one yet that it's true. And a lot of times people are comparing themselves to others and what they can do. You can't compare yourself to anyone else. You can't compare yourself to what anyone else does because the way that you do it is your way. You're not meant to do it the same way. You can get a reading from me. You can get a reading from Drew, from uh, from Carolyn, and I'm talking about people that are in my class. And the readings that you get, everything's going to be totally different. Each of us, we're meant to do our readings and share our gifts in the way that the universe gives to us to share those gifts. So uh, be unapologetic about how you share your gifts and what you do with your gifts, and just flow. Um, and that's the thread that goes through all of the readings from today. So be unapologetic, be without fear, and I'm just going to pull one last card to wrap this up for the collective. And the card is friendship and union. And tying in with everything else, the universe places the things in your path that you need The universe places people in your life that benefit you, that you can benefit them. Allow that flow to happen within your life. The universe will also bring opportunities for classes and for learning. Take advantage of those opportunities when they're presented. Don't sit and watch the world go by. Don't sit and watch people go by. Step into what it is that you're meant to do, whether it's taking an extra step as a teacher, whether it's doing something within your spiritual path. Do it and do it without fear. And my time is absolutely up. It was wonderful connecting with everyone. Look for me at peace4healers on IG. My email is peace4healers@gmail.com. On Facebook, it's just Aaron Case. If you want a picture of your card, just message me on Facebook or IG. And remember, I love you. Make sure you love yourself more. Peace.